I like to think of myself as the type of guy to not blame my teammate when I lose a game in Rocket League, unlike most of the Rocket League community, but this time, I'm blaming it on my teammate. Now, I'm not saying that to be rude, but I think that's legitimately what happened in these 3 games of Rocket League that I played. For context, me and my friends were doing a 2v2, but my teammate was part of someone who just started the game. So they had no idea what was even going on, I think. So yeah, that's the context for this disastrous series of games that happened during this video. Also, one thing I forgot to mention is the ranks of everyone. So the opponents were both around like plat diamond level. I am grand champion and my teammate was probably like bronze because he wasn't ranked yet. We started out the game with a very bad kickoff from my teammate, which is expected because he is a very bad player. But nothing out of the ordinary. I take the ball and then I just air dribble into the goal. Pretty simple. This is a first example of one of his many bumps on me that I'm assuming were an accident, but no big deal. It's kind of expected, so I just recover and go back to defense. I then hit it to the wall so I can just tap it straight into the goal because I'm hoping it was going. The next bump happens almost immediately after kickoff, right there, bang. So I'm just knocked straight into their corner, so I have to do something with the ball. I hit it to midfield, they get control of it, so I'm kind of awkward. He hits it, thankfully. And I'm hoping he shoots it on net so I can just get a free goal, but he doesn't, hits it to the wall. I try to do a little dish it into the net, but it just doesn't work out. And since my friends make a lot of mistakes, I decided to sit here and wait for the ball to come to me, which he does, so I just shoot it straight into the net. I start just messing around because I think it's already in, and I see my friend just absolutely miss that wide open save. Next goal here happens as a result of me controlling the ball, taking up the wall, and I go for a little air play and then a flip reset, and this does get around the opponents. Now, I'm at a position where I think we've already won the game. It's half the game, and we're 4 goals up. At this point in the game, I thought it would have been almost impossible to lose to the opponents. But as you'll soon find out, I was completely incorrect. Shortly after kickoff, I decided to just take it to the orange corner. Instead of shooting it in, I decided to just shoot it across the net because I knew it wouldn't go in. And instead of rotating out, I decided to stick around for a little bit. But that seemed to be the worst decision of my life because I got bumped by my teammate, and then they scored on me because of it. But in my mind, it didn't really matter because we were still 3 up. There's no way we lose this game, right? Well, shortly after one of my teammate's worst kickoffs ever, it led to just straight up a goal. On the next kickoff, I decided to go because I knew he would not have made it in time. He then proceeded to bump me right almost immediately after, so I decided to take the ball to my side of the field and try to do an air dribble, but it didn't really work out. As the ball rolled up the sidewall, I decided to try and clear it, but it was one of the worst attempts at clearing I've ever seen in my life. Almost led to a goal, I don't know how it didn't. And after trying to get a light little tap on the ball, it was more like a pass to the opponent, who then proceeded to destroy my teammate. On the next kickoff, I decided to try and do a little controlled one, but it led to them getting control of it and then flicking me. Even though they missed, it doesn't matter because they just shoot it right in anyway. At this point, I couldn't believe it. They had brought it back to a tied game somehow. Now, was it because of my teammate? Maybe, I don't know. But one thing was for sure, I'd have to try my absolute best to win this game. Not even because it was now a tied game, but because Orange's confidence in winning was likely through the roof. After outplaying both of the opponents, I had basically an open net I could easily score. But my teammate decided now was his chance to try and score himself. And as you can see, it went terribly wrong. Well, here it was, overtime. After initially thinking I would have won this game by at least 3 goals, here I was. After making one of the worst clears of all time, my opponent takes the ball and has a wide open net. Now, will he miss it? Will my teammate somehow defend it? Somehow, some way, will this not go in? All questions that were seconds away from being answered. I couldn't believe it. I actually lost the game. A feat I thought was impossible 3 minutes ago. Now, obviously, I was getting clowned on for this exact moment right here, even though it wasn't even my fault that we lost the game. Obviously, I wasn't happy with this ending, so I decided to challenge him to a rematch. Not even 10 seconds into the game, we were already off to a bad start with me basically giving the opponents a free goal. But it didn't take too long for me to equalize the game. Another thing before this game goes on any longer is that I was pretty annoyed with the ending of the first game at this point, so I wasn't playing my best. After catching the ball and leading it to the worst 50 of all time, it obviously led to another goal for the other team. After going for kickoff, I had a pretty good opportunity to score here, but obviously my teammate just had to come rushing in. And I proceeded to get demoed, so I can't even do anything to recover this tragedy. Here's another example of my teammate needlessly bumping me, leading to a goal. Another thing that annoyed me during this game was just how many shots hit the crossbar, backboard, or sidewall. After about 3 minutes though, I eventually did get a shot to go in. I then proceeded to get one of the worst shots ever shot in Rocket League, leaving me in a pretty worrying position. I did bring it back though, after getting an absolute monster of a flick. Now all I had to do was survive until overtime. Can't be that hard, right? Well, I guess it was that hard. Sure, I can bring this back in the last 6 seconds. Wow, I just lost another game by literally 1 goal. This is truly embarrassing. I was 99% sure it was because of my teammate. He had to have been the reason behind both of these losses. I decided to give it one last go. I had to get at least 1 win with this guy as my teammate. In our final match, I decided to only go for the ball once the orange team made a mistake or if I knew my teammate wasn't anywhere that could mess me up. The only real flaw with that plan was I suck at the game, proved by that shot bouncing off the post and leading to a goal. I quickly brought it back though, scoring pretty quickly after orange scored. After scoring again, I was finally back to having a lead, which hadn't happened since game 1. Now right here, I thought it would have been safe to go for the ball, but nope, I get bumped by my teammate and it leads to an own goal. While the ball was going in the corner, I decided to try and go for it, but nope, my teammate bumped me and it led to a goal. After nearly avoiding an own goal pinch, I decided to take up the sidewall and then hit it to midfield, while my opponent decided to basically just give me a pass, which led to a pretty easy goal. Once I saw that he missed the boost, I decided to flick it high and then score it pretty easily. And then after this absolute dime from my opponent, it led to another pretty easy goal. I couldn't believe it. Could this finally be a game where I win? And then it was this goal that finally decided the game. I had finally won with this buffoon of a teammate, but not before scoring in the dumbest way possible. I had done it. I'm not sure how, but I had finally won with this buffoon of a teammate. A man who had somehow made the 2v1 feel like a 2v1 half. Was it luck? I like to think not. Was it my amazing Rocket League skill? Probably not, but I like to think so. So yeah, this is my story of the worst teammate I've ever had in Rocket League. If you enjoyed, consider subbing. You don't have to, but it would be awesome sauce if you did. Anyway, hope you did enjoy, and I'll see you guys in the next video.